Some open world games give you a map and forget to fill it. Others pull you in and refuse to let go. Today, we're going through 10 of the best open world games everyone must play. Let's get into it. Red Dead Redemption 2. If you want to feel like you actually live inside the American frontier, Red Dead Redemption 2 is still the gold standard. You follow Arthur Morgan as the Van der Linde gang slowly starts to unravel around him, and the world Rockstar built around that story is unlike anything else. Towns feel genuinely alive. Strangers pull you into side stories you never asked for. Even just riding between missions has a weight to it most games can't manufacture. The detail work is relentless. Weather, wildlife, NPC routines, all of it. The pacing is slow, and that will push some people away early. But if you let the world breathe the way the game wants you to, Red Dead 2 becomes one of the most absorbing experiences you can have in this genre. The Witcher 3 Wild Hunt. If you want an open world that actually respects your time, The Witcher 3 is still one of the best examples of how to do it right. You play as Geralt of Rivia, a monster hunter for hire, and what starts as a search for someone you love quickly turns into something much larger. What separates this game is the side content. These aren't filler quests. Most of them branch into full storylines with consequences that carry real weight. The world shifts between war-torn villages, dense forests, and stormy coastlines, and each region has its own personality. Combat isn't the strongest part, but the writing and world design cover for it easily. Even now, it's dangerously easy to sink 40 hours in before you realize what happened. Elden Ring. If you want an open world that genuinely keeps you on edge, Elden Ring pulls it off in a way most games in this genre don't. From the moment you step into the lands between, the game makes one thing clear. You're free to go almost anywhere, but nothing is going to go easy on you. Exploration drives the whole experience. See something interesting on the horizon? You can probably reach it, just don't expect the trip to be safe. The combat carries that familiar From Software weight where every dodge, every swing, and every mistake matters. The open structure actually helps here. If something feels impossible, you can leave, get stronger, and come back. It's demanding, but once it clicks, Elden Ring is extremely hard to put down. Grand Theft Auto 5. If you want an open world that constantly finds ways to surprise you, GTA 5 is still one of the best sandboxes ever built. Instead of one lead, the story rotates between Michael, Franklin, and Trevor, and that structure gives the campaign far more variety than most games in this genre. Los Santos itself does a lot of the heavy lifting. The world feels busy in the right ways, and it's very easy to lose an hour just moving between objectives. The heists are still the standout moments. Planning them, choosing your approach, and watching everything either go smoothly or completely sideways. Most people know this game already, but the core design holds up so well that jumping back in still feels completely natural. Breath of the Wild. If you want an open world built entirely around curiosity, Breath of the Wild still hasn't been matched at its own game. From the moment you step off the Great Plateau, the world just opens up. No hand-holding, no objective arrows, just a landscape full of things worth finding. The physics and chemistry systems reward players who experiment. Almost every problem has multiple solutions, and the game rarely tells you which one to use. Shrines are hidden in ways that feel genuinely rewarding to discover. Climbing, gliding, and cooking create a rhythm that makes even simple traversal satisfying. It isn't perfect, and weapon durability frustrated a lot of people early on, but as an example of open world design that trusts the player completely, it's in a category of its own. Cyberpunk 2077. If you want an open world that looks like nothing else, Cyberpunk 2077, where it is now, is a very different game from the one that launched. Night City is dense, loud, and genuinely impressive to move through. The vertical design means exploration rewards players who look up as much as they look forward. You play as V, a mercenary chasing a job that goes very wrong, and the story pulls in multiple directions depending on your choices. Side gigs vary a lot in quality, but the best ones rival anything in the main story. The driving and gunplay feel better than they did at launch, and the city itself remains the strongest argument for the game. If you bounced off it early, it's worth another look. Assassin's Creed Odyssey. If you want an open world you can genuinely get lost in for weeks, Odyssey leans into the RPG side of the series harder than any entry before it. You're in ancient Greece, playing as either Alexios or Cassandra, and the map is enormous in the best way. Naval combat returns, mercenary systems keep the world feeling reactive, and dialogue choices give the story more flexibility than earlier games. The mythological creature encounters are some of the most memorable fights in the series. It does have too much content in places, some side quests drag, and the map can feel overwhelming. But if you enjoy open world RPGs where there's always something worth doing on the horizon, Odyssey is very easy to disappear into. Horizon Forbidden West. If you want an open world where exploration actually feels like a reward, Horizon Forbidden West delivers that consistently. You're back with Aloy, heading further west, and the environments do a lot of work right away. Dense jungles, coastal ruins, sun-bleached desert, all of it rendered in detail that makes riding between locations feel worthwhile. Combat still revolves around preparation. Scanning machines, targeting weak points, setting traps before rushing in. Fights reward players who take a moment to plan rather than just charge. Traversal also gets smoother this time around. Climbing is less restrictive and movement options open up earlier. It doesn't radically change the formula from Zero Dawn, but it improves the right things. As an open world action RPG, it's one of the most polished in the genre. Ghost of Tsushima. If you want an open world that makes every moment feel like a painting, Ghost of Tsushima does something most games in this genre don't bother attempting. It slows down. You play as Jin Sakai, a samurai defending Tsushima from a Mongol invasion, and the world sucker punch built around that story is one of the most visually distinct in recent memory. Wind guides you instead of a mini-map. Golden birds lead you to side content. Everything about the design pushes you to actually look at the world rather than chase icons. Combat is fast, deliberate, and deeply satisfying once the parry system clicks. The story starts straightforward but earns its emotional moments by the end. As a pure open-world experience, it's one of the most effortlessly beautiful you'll find. Marvel's Spider-Man 2. If you want an open world where getting from point A to point B is the best part of the game, Spider-Man 2 nails traversal in a way very few games do. You're switching between Peter and Miles across a bigger version of New York, and the added web wings and faster movement make swinging feel more fluid than it's ever been. Fast travel exists, but you'll barely use it. Combat gets expanded across both Spider-Men. More abilities, more aggression, and encounters that do a better job of keeping you moving. The story is personal and well-paced, giving both characters enough room to work without one overshadowing the other. It doesn't reinvent the formula, and it doesn't need to. It's a confident, polished, open-world game that's very easy to pick up and enjoy. And that wraps up the list. If you enjoyed the video, don't forget to like and subscribe for more gaming lists and breakdowns. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.